to B? Will this reroute me back to my original plan? Detours have been defined as the long or roundabout route to avoid or bypass. We don't like detours because they mess up our plans. They mess up our time. They mess up our way, and they mess up our comfort zone. Because I'm used to going to A to B to get on back. Now you want me to go all the way around. You want me to go up and down. Now it's traffic. Now it's this. And you messing up my plan. Now I know I'm talking about traveling, and many of you have experience when you're driving in a car. But I need you to think about your life, because we do God the same way. I expected to be married at this time. I expected to have this much at this time. I expected to be here at this time. But all of a sudden, God throws in a detour. And you got the nerves, or we had the nerves, to tell God, I don't have time for this. You messing up my way. You messing up my comfort zone. You're messing up my commonality. This is common to me, and now you want. I remember a few years ago when God said, what if you had to unlearn everything that you learned? I was like, what? What if you had to unlearn, Micah, everything that you learned? I was like, God, that would be a process. He said, oh, well, then put your seatbelt on and let's go. Because some things that I realized that I learned was really from the regurgitation from other people, but it was never from God. We see detours, but God sees intentional interruptions. Lord, y'all better help me preach this thing right now. We see unpredictable route, but detours have become common when traveling, and we trust they will get us back on track. So what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times now in driving, detours have become common, and a lot of times we don't even extra think about them. We just go around the way and we go, oh, it's gonna get me back on track. It'll get me back on track with minimal time and little effort. Yet when it comes to our lives, we have allowed ourselves to become emotionally agitated, as if God is not able to do all things. We don't like detours, but we like a tour guide. Ain't that something? That thing hitting me. I'm gonna get y'all some scripture. Just hold on. But we want a tour guide, but we don't want detours. Here's what I'm saying. We'll hire a tour guide. We'll pay to get on something, and then when we get on there, we'll say, why they going this way? Why they didn't stop right there? I wanted to see this. I wanted to see that. But while we are stuck on the detour, God is stuck on deterrence. He's like, I'm trying to deter you from running into something. I remember we went on the cruise ship, and people was taking tours and different stuff, and they would tell you there's certain places, I know you want to go there, but it's not good that you stop there, because you don't know the locals like we do, and they are waiting on tourists, and they are professional to rob you. Okay, let me just tell my business. I remember we were stationed in Germany, and we went to Prague, Czechoslovakia, and they was shopping, and they said, whatever you do, don't exchange your money on the streets. Oh, come on, somebody. And I had been several times. I knew better. And I never changed my money on the street. And you got to be careful of influencers. And I was with one person, and they said, girl, we good. Girl, we good. We going to get 2 times the amount for our dollar. We just going to exchange it. When I tell y'all, I ain't never seen nothing so slick in all of my life. You know, because here it is. You think you slick on your territory, but see, you got to be careful when you on other people's territory. And so a lot of times we don't like a detour, but God is trying to deter us from getting robbed, getting killed, come on, getting bamboozled, getting hoodwinked, come on, somebody. But we always think we know better than what he did. And we slipped over to the side, and she said, just give him the 100. We're going to switch it out. We're going to do this. We're going to double. And when I promise you that man counted me that money, I gave him that $100. He said, shh, 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 shh. I said, okay, good. We got double. Put it in my pocket and walked away. We went into that store to get ready to pay. Guess who didn't have no money? I said, I know I know I said, now I seen that man count me money. I know I seen that. And I was thinking about that thing this morning, Minister Kim. And God said, yeah, you thought you saw, but your eye wasn't quick enough according to his skills and what he was doing. He said he exchanged that money and took it right back from you. So not only did he he didn't only take his money back, he got your 100 on top of that. Why? Because God was trying to deter me from something, but I heard a voice that was greater than him. I knew the instructions. Don't exchange money on the street. Oh, but so many times we think we know better than God. Somebody shout detoured. I'm gonna teach this and I'm gonna go back to it, but I write this down for my note-taking people. Anytime God does a detour, he's got one of three or all of three things in mind, and that is to develop you. It's development, trust, and preparedness. He's either trying to develop you, get you to learn how to trust him, or to prepare you on where he's taking you to. Lord, have mercy, somebody. Turn to Genesis. We in Genesis. We was already in Genesis last week. Let's just jump on back there. Come on, let's get to Genesis. Genesis 15. Verses 12 through 16. I'm reading in the King James Bible. I said the King James, Lord. I done been down south to the King James Bible. Verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a horror, a great darkness fell upon him. You ever had it so dark? It's just dark. Like it's some darks you open up your eyes and you can just see a little bit. But then there's some darks you're like, good night. It is dark. And so a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed, somebody say seed, shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come thither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. He said, I am surely that the seed shall be a stranger. In verse 13, he said, but don't worry. He said they will be in captivity for 400 years, and afterwards shall they come out with a great substance. We don't like that. 400 years is a detour. And y'all might be saying, well, I don't have that much time. But you got to understand the seed he was talking about was Jesus. Exodus. Now let's turn to Exodus 13, verse 15 through 18. I need you to understand. Please underline. Please stay in Genesis. While you're in Genesis 15, 12 through 16, please underline. And after shall they come out with great substance, because God don't do nothing half-heartedly. I don't know about you, but I've talked to God and I said, God, if you're going to detour me and we're going to deal with this, then I know you got something big. And so when I get agitated, Elder now tells me you ought to get excited. What you upset before, you ought to start getting excited, because you know how God works. If all hell is coming after you, then you ought to know that there's great substance about to come through. Exodus 13. Let's start at verse 15 through 18, and then I'm just going to preach the rest of this. I don't even have a long word, but Bishop said I got a strong word. The AMPC, which is the Amplified Classic, it says, for when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, because now they've been in the 400 years. Come on, somebody. That which he had spoke about has already happened. You can read all throughout Genesis. Exodus is just what it is. It's the exit book. So now they're getting ready to exit out of the captivity. All right. It says, so for when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and of livestock, Therefore, I sacrifice to the Lord all the males that first opened the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. Verse 16, and it shall be a reminder upon your hand, or as frontlets between your eyes. That means you can see it right here, right? For by a strong hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. I need you to understand this. For by a strong hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. We get lost when we talk about Egypt. When I want you to think about Egypt, I want you to think about your bondage, think about your addiction, the thing that God had to snatch you out of. It wasn't that you didn't want to stay, come on, because it was comfortable, the sin felt good, you were used to it, it was common, come on, but God with a strong hand snatched you out of it. Verse 17, when Pharaoh let the people go, God led them not by way of the land of the Philistines. Although that was nearer, for God said, least the people change their purpose when they see war and return to Egypt. I don't know about you, but I see a detour. Let me say it again. When Pharaoh let the people go, God led them not by way of the land of the Philistines. Now remember, they're being let go, but they're not leading themselves. Come on. The Lord was with them with a fire by night and a cloud by day. So wherever the cloud showed up is where they went. Wherever the fire showed up is where they went. And he could have took them the fast route. He could have, but he didn't. He created a detour. Lord, I don't know about you, but God could have took you to another duty station. God could have taken away the sickness easy. God could have let the children just sit around and be in the white little picket fence. But God said I had to put a detour because I got to train you for some stuff. I got to prepare you, and I got to find out, do you really trust me, or do you just trust the first and the 15? I got to find out, come on, do you really trust me, or do you just trust the signet ring that you show? Do you really trust me, come on, or you just show the association? Come on, many, okay. Y'all do whatever you want, have whatever organization that you want to, but for me and my house, come on somebody, we gonna trust the Lord. Come on, I know about everything else. They didn't try to get Ella for a bunch of stuff, but everything I know, you can't get it if the wife don't accept it. And I was waiting for them to come to me, and I wasn't even saved back then. Come on, somebody, y'all don't want to talk to me, but I came up through the streets, and I'm like, nah, we don't want that. Nah, we don't want that. Listen, because I was a businesswoman anyway, I was an opportunity. I just made money off of them. I just made money off of them. Come on. I set up your program. I set up your stuff. This going to cost you. That going to cost you. That going to cost you. Because the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. I didn't even know what I was working back. Whew. Okay, y'all don't like me, but they don't like me anyway, so I don't even care, for God is good. They told him, you'll get promoted if you go this way. You'll get in if you go this way. I said, Jesus, I know. Come on. He said, Paul, I know, but who in the hell are you? Because the last time I checked, God can make a way where there is no way. Y'all don't want to talk to me because y'all have succumbed to other stuff, and we're afraid. But God told me it's your unmuzzled season. Woo. He said, I'm calling you to speak a thing. I'm calling you to declare a thing, because the world has been loud and the Christians have been quiet. He said, afterward, they should come out with a great substance. Come on. I'm in Exodus, and he said, listen. He said, so the Lord slew all the firstborn. He said, I redeemed them. He said, and when they came out, I'm in verse 16, and it shall be a reminder upon your hand as frontlets between your eyes, for by a strong hand the Lord brought them out. When Pharaoh let the people go, God led them not by way of the land of the Philistines. Although that was closer. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, now God, this is me. I'm like, now God, really? You got to take me all the way. I'm like, you could have just did this. We could have been done. He said, we could have. For God said, he said, I could have took you by the land of the Philistines, Micah. Watch this. He said, at least the people changed their purpose when they saw the war and returned to Egypt. Let me read you what the message said. Then I'm going to teach you this real quick. The message said this. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, at least the people changed their minds when they see war. When they see war and return to Egypt. He said, I'd rather detour you years than let you go days, because I know you will go back to what I delivered you from. And when I allow you to step your foot back into Egypt again, it will not be as a slave. It will be with your God-given authority. The Bible said that he didn't let them go by the land of the Philistines because the Philistines wasn't no punk. Come on, somebody. The Philistines were known for their military strength, advanced technology, and for often warring with the Israelites. The Philistines worship gods and goddesses, including Baal and Ashtar and Asherah and Dagon. And so what I'm trying to say is he had to make sure the route I'm taking you with wasn't just to deter you, but to get you solidified in your God. Because if you ain't solidified in your God, these boys will eat you up, because they believe in Dagon. They believe in they stuff. Y'all talking all that stuff, oh, crystals and this and that, but they believe in some of that so much, you come up with your Jesus is Lord, and they throw their stuff on you, and because you ain't fully persuaded, you will find yourself easing in. And God said, I couldn't take you by the Philistine. Them boys is ready to fight, and you ain't ready yet. You've been in a slave mentality for 400 years. You've been serving and building straw. He said, I got to take you not by way of the land, but the wilderness. He said, I'd rather take you to the wilderness and train you than to just throw you out in war. You ought to be glad that God didn't just throw you out there. It's some stuff I ain't ready for. Oh, come on, y'all. Where my folk at? Come on. Why y'all think some people come to St. Robert, Waynesville to do their stuff? Because they know they couldn't rock it in Chicago. They know they couldn't rock it in New York. But some of us, listen, we had to say, God, when we got here, we said, these the greenest people I'd have never seen. Thank God for salvation. Thank God. Okay. Y'all don't want to talk to me. He said, I did not take you by way. So listen, sometime God will put in a detour because he got destiny in mind. God will put in a detour because he got destiny in mind. Listen, let me finish reading. He said, but God led the people around by way of the wilderness toward the Red Sea. And the Israelites went up, marshaled in rank out of the land of Egypt. Woo! You have to catch this. They did not just come out any kind of way. The Bible says they were in rank. One translation said they were military ready. So he had them lined up, but they ain't been trained yet. And so that's how we can do. We can look the part, but still got to be trained. And you can't get trained just looking the part. I got to test you in this thing. I know you lined up. I know you dressed right dress. I know you all that stuff, but no bombs come off yet. You don't know what it's like to be in the foxhole. You don't know what it's like to have to depend on somebody else. Come on, somebody. And now you ain't got time to be tripping on no color. You ain't got time to be tripping on no race, because your life is at hand. You all the thing you're thinking about is I'm trying to get home to my family. Come on, somebody. In the same way with God, God said, I don't care that you don't want to go this route, because the only thing I'm thinking about is the lineage that's coming behind you. The only thing I'm thinking about, come on, is that there's something that's greater. I know you want to go by way of the Philistine. You think you're ready to smack them all up because I'm leading you somewhere, but you ain't been trained yet. God, don't tag me before I'm trained, because my blessed place become my cursed place if I ain't ready for it. I don't know about you, but there's some things that God has now allowed me to have and see, and I look back and I say, God, I thank you that I'm able to handle it. Come on, y'all don't want to talk about it, but I talk about it. Y'all looking at everybody and all the different stuff and the P. Diddy situation and all the different things. This is why you got to pray for people, because we always want to go this and be in this area and that area, but you ain't ready for it, because there's some other stuff that come with it. I remember talking to one of my spiritual sons, and I said, son, I said, you ain't ready for that. I said, there's some other things that go behind the scene. He said, Mom, what are you talking about? I said, they ain't just counting money in the office. Y'all don't want to talk to me. He said, not in the church house. I said, baby, in the church house. I said, you got to have a spirit of discernment. I was like, because some of them get down a different way. I said, but you think that it don't happen because it's church. I said, but church don't mean everybody's saved. Come on. I said, and you got to know the truth. And to this day, he called me back and said, oh my God, Mom, remember what you told me. And I just said, I thank you, Lord, because I was a little nervous telling him that, because I was like, God, what if I'm off? I was like, God, come on. Yeah, let me hear you something. Truth God to show it to you, but we scared to speak it. Because it don't feel good. It don't feel good. But we gotta tell it, because our job is to help each other. So if you would tell your kids ain't nothing open after a certain time, but what they say, legs, hotels and legs, then why come you won't listen? Then why come we won't tell the truth? Come on, to our spiritual sons and daughters and say, baby, I know you say this is the area you want. I know you say you want that level, but you ain't ready for that, because until you got a strong no and a strong I know who God is. I said that money will be enticing to you. That position will be enticing to you. That power will be enticing to you. And the enemy will make you think you are above the law. And before you know it, you'll be in the corner somewhere sucking on your thumb in some flip-flops, drinking a bottle of booze, saying, how did I get here? I know. Everybody say not me. Everybody say not me. I'm so glad I know how to tell the truth, because I said, I can't say. Back then, I ain't going to say it wouldn't have been me. Back then, I ain't going to say it wouldn't have been me. Come on, because I'm like, we going to do what? We going to go where? We going to fly how? Let me think about it. Okay, y'all laughing. But the truth is, some of y'all still some still doing it today. Some still today. Some still today. Some of you ain't even never flew first class. Let somebody offer you a first class and a visit in the bathroom. Let's see what you do. And so it said, let me stay right here. God created the detour. God chose wilderness over war. It wasn't because he wanted to destroy them. He had destiny in mind, according to promise that had already been spoken. Yet we know they were used to being slaves and serving, and had not been mentally conditioned to walk in the authority that was already in them. God didn't send them to the wilderness because he wanted to kill them. He let them die off because their mentality wouldn't recalibrate to the power that was already in them. They said we was better off in back there eating leeks. We was better. He giving fresh manna every day, but they was better off eating it. We was better off. Come on. Y'all don't want to talk to me. I was better off on the block selling drugs for somebody. Come on. And on the corner, at least we got to eat real good. But God said, yeah, you ate good, but that ain't your portion. I wanted to create you not to eat, but to feed. It always looked good on the outside. That's why the man of God danced inside out. Because we make the outside, listen to me, we make the outside look so good. They got the right clothes, the right shoes, the right tuck, the right makeup. You can make your nose look skinny. You can contour it and make your cheeks up high. You can make your eyes look like this. Listen, you can change your teeth from yellow to white. You can do whatever you need to do. If it need to be done on the inside, it can be done. But what they can't change is on inside. That's the God thing. That's a God thing. And I'm just trying to tell you that every detour is not a bad thing. God's detouring some of us because he has destiny in mind. God is detouring us because he's, I'm trying to deter you from the snares of the enemy. I'm trying to deter you from the trap that's set up to kill you. You wouldn't understand it if you really knew that. Listen, we didn't let our kids go spend the night over people's houses and do all the different stuff. And they would just get mad at me. Brian Tim be like, Mama, you don't never let her go sit there. I said, listen. I said, y'all wasn't raised in the streets. I said, y'all military kids, y'all there. I said, you're going to have to get trained in some stuff. I said, and I would tell them they was little. I said, you be over there playing a PlayStation and they in the back cooking up meth, but you wouldn't know it. I said, because you ain't never been around it. I said, so I can't just let you go anywhere. My job is to make sure that I protect you because everything that look good. Okay, y'all don't. I don't care what the outside look like. Let me go in your closet. They said, stay right there, Pastor. Stay right there, preacher. Listen. So listen. And that's what God is saying. This is why in this ministry is Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world. So we get stuck with we get stuck on clothes. Lord, y'all, please. Can we stop being so simple-minded? If the dress is fashionable, I'm going to wear it. Y'all not about to make me look like 1902. Be not conformed to this world. There's systematic ways of thinking and operating, but be ye transformed. Have a metamorphose. Have a shifting that takes place in your mind. You can no longer, son, you can no longer, daughter, keep thinking like a slave because you are not. You are his son. You are his heir. You are a joint heir with Christ. So whatever he has, you have. But God, a couple of detours because I know that way is faster, but there's no training in that. I need to take you through the wilderness. We don't like the wilderness. The wilderness, you can't see your way. The wilderness got little stuff in it and different. I always watch the shows with Elder, and they was in the wilderness. They showed this big giant spider. I was like, now see, I said, that's unidentifiable. I said, I don't like a regular one. I said, but what is that? That's unidentifiable. Watch this. If God take you through it, this is where we got it. Nothing shall come nigh unto you. And so we got to be so fully persuaded that if God take us through the wilderness, come on, we'll pay attention to the signs. And he'll say, one way. Okay, I'm going this way. And then he'll say, stop. You're like, because see, what we like to get to our place, but we don't want to pay attention to no signs. We don't pay attention to no signs. Come on, where my married people at? Some of the problems you having right now, because you didn't pay attention to no signs. Now, that woman kept telling you she like it this way, that. You want to do whatever you want to do. Now, she told you. I did help y'all. I can help y'all, men of God. Yes. She said, slow down. You don't listen. Pay attention. All right, y'all laughing, but women of God, he told you what he enjoyed, what he liked. And you so busy trying to be sanctified. Well, I ain't going to do, it's the bedroom. All right, Minister Timothy going to teach on that in next month. Y'all catch that, okay? One night with the king. That's just a plug in for Daughters of Sarah. Y'all might not want to miss it, okay? One night with the king. Okay, so look. Ooh, I almost really went into marriage because I was going to say in the bedroom there's also some do not enter. Okay, and so y'all pay. God created the detour. Chose wilderness over war. It wasn't because he wanted to destroy. I'm not paying attention to y'all. Then he had destiny in mind according to promise that had already been spoken. When God creates a detour, listen to me, I'm going to do this and then I'm done. I'm going to put this on there. When God creates a detour, he's trying to develop us. He's trying to develop us. This is a growth process. The wilderness was a growth process because they was all ready to go back to make brick out of straws. But God was trying to tell them, I got a place that's already for you, flowing with milk and honey. You ain't got to make nothing. I got grapes, pomegranates that look like big houses or whatever you got. That mean one grape, we all can. You know what you can do with one giant grape? You can make jelly, jam. You can make wine for communion. You can slice it up and do a charcuterie tray. One grape that's as big as this. Figs. You know what? Figs is used for sweetening. Figs is used for sap, all kind of different stuff. You got to know that's why God deals in agricultural, because he's trying to show us the fruit. And all of those are from a seed. And he talks about, that's why I read you the beginning when he said your seed. Yeah. Okay. Listen, so God's going to do one of three things, and I'm done. I promise I'm done, because I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to get in trouble. My new people that's still coming, y'all keep coming. I promise. I'm already looking at y'all like family, so keep on. If you need to try another church, I understand, but just keep coming. Okay. All right. So listen, development. He's doing one or two, three things, or all things. Okay. And number one of them is development. So when God does a detour, please understand he's not trying to kill you. He's trying to deter you from something because he has destiny in mind. And so what he wants to do is take you through the development stage. This is a growth process. It's the maturation. It's the place where maturity takes place. This is where growth happens and expansion takes place. Here's what's funny. Expansion is not when you get there. Most people say, oh, when I get there, I'm going to be big. No. If you're not big in the process to get there, you won't be able to handle there. That's why you'll be on the plane in the bathroom. Because you didn't let the maturation or the growth process take place. Oh, God, Lord, have mercy. Okay, listen. Expansion is not when you get there. Expansion happens on the way there. The wilderness was developing them. That's why those that didn't want to develop had to die off. And God said, I'll keep you here until we get rid of them. Yeah. Some of y'all think y'all just here because you're so good, but God said, no, I got need of you. The reason you see some other folks falling off around you, because they don't think like you, like they ain't thinking kingdom, and I need them to just fall right on by and get right on out, because they rather be a slave, and that ain't our portion. Come on, y'all ever got people around y'all and they just want you to keep thinking low like them? Well, I don't know if we gon' I don't know, Pastor. I'm like, oh, okay, God bless. Keep it going. I'm telling you, that's why I got to stop watching TikTok stuff, because there's a man that come on there and say, a wise woman is one that keeps her circle small, that doesn't have a lot of friends, and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, who flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you? Listen, the wilderness was designed to develop. We don't like our detour because it's not the common route that we take. When they was working on 44 and you couldn't get on there and you had to take the outer road to get all the way to Rolla, folk were upset. They were just, just mad. And me, I was like, but we still getting there. It ain't the route that we normally take, but we still getting there. But you'd hear people complaining. I don't know why they take, how long they gonna be on the road. They gonna do that. But then when your car get 50 million potholes, You mad, and then you say, when they gonna fix these roads? But they trying to fix the road, fix the bridge, but we mad. And that's just how we do in our spiritual realm. God said, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to do stuff. I need you to go a different route right now. I need to detour you, because if I let you keep going that way, the infrastructure is not sustainable for what I need, for the weight that I have on you, that I need you to go. So detour for a moment, because I'm trying to deter you from this. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to develop you. You not ready yet. We don't like to hear that. God has told me so many times, I notice what you say you want, but you're not ready yet. And then here we go. This is just me. I was like, I'm getting older, God. I'm getting older, God. He said, and? Then he showed my mom. He said, your mama in her 70s. What's your problem? He said, what is your problem? Because we get conditioned, though. Listen, so we got to do that. The second thing he's going to do, he's going to get you to trust. The whole purpose of going in the wilderness is I'm trying to develop you. The next thing, I'm trying to see who you trusted. Do you trust in the Egyptians, or do you trust in me? Esther didn't become queen overnight. She had to be developed. Watch this. Then God threw a detour in there. And in the midst of the detour, come on, she now had to trust God. And not only did she had to trust God, now she had to get prepared to save a nation. But it was all for God's plan. The detour is for destiny. Joseph had a dream. Come on, somebody. And he didn't expect to be thrown in the pit. But that was the detour. I could let you just stay and the dream come about, but you didn't have no idea that there was about to be 7 years of famine. So I put in a detour. Your detour may look like a pit, but you can best believe he got a company of Ishmaelites that's coming to pull you out. He got a house that's already set up for you to go stand in. He got a prison already designed, but you gonna have favor in it. So when I say prison, it may look like you in confinement. Yeah, have y'all ever just watched? I don't like prison movies, because my stepfather was in prison. I had family members. We did prison ministry. And when we would go there, we was talking about this on the way riding. We would be all talking and this and that. But as soon as we pull up to them wire gates, everybody in the van got quiet, because it's something different that happened. And the elder always got death row when he was up there. Always, where you only talk to him against the thing. And we was just saying that they knew the word. So what I'm saying is, we hear that, and I used to think sometimes, God, I can't, I'm not prepared. I couldn't do that. And just for one time, I said, what type of? Because I said, God, I want prison ministry outside of it, not in it. But could you? What if God had you? So I had to get my mind. When I said prison, God said, okay, but confinement is not necessarily at the actual facility. He said, because it's people that are in a facility that's freer than the people that are out here. Confinement is in here. And so God said, you can be in a confinement stage, but I'm still going to show you favor. Come on, even in your decision making. Even in your connection. Do y'all follow me? Do y'all see where I'm talking about? That God put a detour in Joseph's life because he had a destiny. It didn't feel good, but he still endured like a good soldier. And he didn't stop dreaming, knowing that God had something that he had showed him. And so I just want you to know that there's one of three things that God will do a detour. Number one, he's working to develop you. Number two, he's making sure that he trains you to trust him, and then he's getting you prepared for what he's about to give you, take you to, for the kingdom's sake. Because everybody wants $1 million, and I'm just gonna tell you, $1 million ain't that much no more. If you come talk to me, I can go through $1 million. Don't know, you ain't got to leave home for it. Come on, come on. It's not a lie. You can't even really get a franchise now, because I've looked into one they want you to lease to show that you got 2.5 in the bank. In the bank. before you get you in the bank. Then we get you the franchise. So you say, oh, I'll get it and make some money. No, it got to be in the bank. Because most millionaires don't have liquid cash. They have assets of cash. Oh, yeah. They have assets of cash. But if you know how to work your assets, you good. Y'all better clap. You better clap it. You better clap it. No, I wasn't going to say that, B. Yeah. So, listen. Your detour is not to destroy you. No, we're not even on camera. The camera's just on me. How many of you have experienced some detours? Just lift your hands up. Come on. Did they feel good? Come on. I just want to make sure I'm not the only one that's like, God, really? Why we could have. It's right across the street. It's right there. This what we gonna do? You gonna make me wait? He said, I could take you across the street, but you're not ready. Because you don't see all the stuff that's there. You'll just see what you want to get to. He said, but look to the right. He said, you see that? That'll eat you alive. He said, look to the left. He said, you see that? That's waiting on you. He said, your no ain't strong enough yet. Y'all don't hear me? Yeah, let me talk to some real folk. I know you say you good, but the minute she show you something, you wasn't as good as you thought you was. Everybody look this way. Because I don't want nobody saying, oh, you told her. Just look this way. Look this way. I'm going by the Holy Ghost. Come on. I ain't telling you what I don't know. I got people in ministry that have taken that fall. It ain't something I read about. It's people we've worked with. I'm talking about like pastors. Because we don't allow ourselves to get developed. Be careful trying to take the shortcut. For my married people, it don't happen overnight. It takes time. You got your honeymoon in early stage, but listen, it takes time. Stop listening to all that stuff. Focus on y'all. My single people, enjoy it. Because you got the married ones over here wanting to be in y'all. Y'all want to be over here, Lord Jesus. Wherever you at, just enjoy it. The detour is not to destroy you. The detour is to develop you, get you to trust God, Jesus Christ. Amen. Not just any God. Let me make sure I say Jesus Christ. You got to say the name of Jesus nowadays. Okay? It used to be, but Jesus, because there's only one way to the Father, and that's through the Son. Okay? And the last thing is preparedness. I'm getting you ready for what I have already destined the purpose in for you. We love to say, for I know the plans that I have for you, said the Lord. Plans of good and not of evil to give you an expected end. Okay, he knows that, but there's a process. And the process is going to have signs. Don't ignore them. When it's time to stop, stop. Run through the red light if you want to. If it say one way, don't try to circumvent the route and say, I'm going to be good. I'm just going to go down this way anyway. No, it said one way. If it said yield, yield. It didn't mean just go through. Yield. That means pause to look because you don't know. They got a yield sign there to let you know there's some fools that come through in and out of here. It doesn't necessarily require a stop, but it does require you to pay attention. And if it say detour, don't think you equipped enough to just go there. We get mad at the GPS rerouting. You stupid thing. I remember our GPS rerouted one time, and Elder didn't say nothing. He just followed it. And then when we got it around, he said, "Good girl." I said, "What time?" He said, "Shoot, she cut us off 15 minutes. She's like, she knew exactly what she was doing." She said the reroute was right on time. And so I'm just saying, we don't want to be rerouted. We don't want the detour. And I'm done with the word, but I'm just here to tell you, I had so much word. I could have told y'all that Jonah had a detour and was in the belly of the fish. I mean, like, go through the Bible and look at all the detours of everybody that had destiny promise and that was used in it's a detour. There's always a detour. But I want you to think about how we don't like the detour. And the only reason we don't like it is because it takes us off our normal path. We don't like it because we feel like it's going to take too much time to get to where we said we was going. But it's God's plan. You just a part of it. I know you think it's your plan, but it's God's plan. He's just letting you in on what he already has. And so he says, you can have your plan, but let me be your guide. If I tell you to turn left and it's a detour, don't fight with me for 15 hours trying to get you where I need you to get to. Because that way may be shorter, but it don't have no training in it. It don't have no development in it. And I can let you go there and give you exactly what you want. Exactly what I told you, but you will squander it away. They will bamboozle you out of it and exchange money right in your face, and you not even know it, because you didn't follow the directions. Stand to your feet. Lord, I got a wallet up here. Shut up. Wallet up here. That somebody wanted to know why you put money up there, and we had taught on that during our queenship. It's the trading floor. It's just that you just